Hello, my name is Gibson Yangyo. This is my NBE3U RST Presentation. Introduction, thesis statement, 3 clear points/arguments. No matter what, every culture starts with empathy and cooperation, and that comes with family. My thesis statement is the literary works of Indian Horse by Richard Wagamese, Someday by Drew Hayden Taylor, and the short story All Our Relations highlight the deep-rooted familial customs of indigenous culture. For Indian Horse, the grandmother showed that her beliefs of the family unit have not been changed because her role was to be a guide, but nobody heeded her words, so she was seen as someone as crazy and out of touch, yet she still embodied her culture. For Someday, Anne's treatment towards Rodney, and including him in the reunion with Janice and her attitude towards Janice, shows the importance of family and that connection ingrained in her. All our relations, the elders' lessons of importance of every animal and every plant stem from the reliance that the Nishnabeg have on all these elements and how intertwined they are personally and familially. All our relations. My argument is the message the wise elders try to convey is to treat everything as if it is part of your family, be it animal, human, or plant. For these are my quotes. And my first quote, the old people say that we are all related, not just to the people that live in our house, but to the plants, the animals, the air, the water, and the land. This shows just how interconnected that they believe their world is and how everything relies on each other. My second quote is, so you see how important each one of those plants and animals are? We should never destroy anything. That's what those old elders say. Again, reinforcing the importance of everything around us, and also how everything is detrimental to another if something is destroyed. My third quote is, we are just one big, beautiful family with many different branches. The Nishnabeg have always known this. Highlighting the big, beautiful family part, this is sort of a familial relation with everything, and the fact that saying the Nishnabeg have always known this just shows how important it is to their traditions. For Someday, my argument is Anne holds on to familial ideals, and through trying to bring back her long-lost daughter and accepting her daughter's boyfriend into her family, shows her resolve and beliefs in those familial values. For my first quote, it's when she hands Janice the moccasins after Janice took off her boots. This just shows how she's trying to bring Janice back into her family or culture. Uh, my second quote is, oh Grace, I have such wonderful things to show you. Just sit there and drink your tea. This again shows how much she wants to bring Grace or Janice into her culture, and also how she still holds on to the fact that Janice was born into her culture. My third quote is, are you kidding? We have boxes under every bed and in every closet. Decades of family life and people nobody ever looks at. Again, reinforcing familial beliefs with them holding on to the past with all of these photos, with many photos, stored under beds and closets, reinforcing familial values. For Indian Horse, my argument is the grandmother wants the small group of people she leads to connect with the ancestry and teaches familial values to try and make that connection. My first quote is, I turned and my mother was standing there into her arms, with her arms spread open. I fell into them and cried into her bosom. This shows how the grandmother wants to be seen, no, as a caregiver and someone to look up towards. My second quote is, my grandmother never explained it, but there is really no need. I knew now why God's lake belonged to our family, because part of our family died there, and their spirits still spoke from the trees, somehow knowing that was a comfort to me. Again, the grandmother did not need to explain anything here. but she still acted as a guide towards God's lake, and those familial values with being a familial burial place just reinforce the point. Here in this old way, you may rediscover that and claim it as your own. This is set in the context of uh, the mother and the aunt uh, being explaining how they were God-fearing, but the grandmother was not putting down their claims, but instead trying to move them in a different direction. Again, guiding them instead of forcing them to do anything. In conclusion, the literary works of Indian Horse by Richard Roggemies, Someday by Johanna Taylor, and the short story All Our Relations showcase the familial custom is ingrained into indigenous customs. In the novel Indian Horse, the grandmother showed how strong her beliefs are when it comes to the importance of family, acting as a supporting and wise leader to the group. Anne's attitude with Janice during the reunion shows how much Anne wants to hold on to her family, and including Rodney in their family shows her accepting as growth of her family. The elders' lessons about the almost familial bond they have with every animal and every plant shows the life they want to live in the virtues they want to embody, which are that universal familial bond. I think a common point that ties all three of these stories together is that the family, no matter how broken, is still a family and can always be revived and renewed.